Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. Now, we're very lucky this week. We have another guest, a very distinguished one. This is Umberto Pascali. He is a leading observer and analyst of European affairs, international strategy, Italy, the Balkans, international economics, European-Russian relations, and many other important specialties. So we're delighted to have him with us. Umberto, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Webster. Hi.
Wonderful. So you were kind enough to call my attention this week to these articles in the Financial Times and the Wall Street Journal announcing that after the attack on Greece, after the beginning of the Spanish banking crisis, we now have attack on Portugal and the euro, they're now essentially pointing out Italy as the target for the zombie banks and the hedge fund hyenas. And I know you've just been over there, and I wonder how that looks from your point of view.
Yeah, was really, we saw in the last period a series of growing attacks on Italy financially from inside, from outside. Now, Italy normally does not react very much. It's not a super organized country in that respect. But now, you remember there was the famous story that the countries that were going to be smashed were the pigs country, and was Portugal, Ireland, Greece, Spain, pigs. But then there was a big debate if the I stands for Ireland or Italy, and we saw just yesterday, the day before. The Wall Street Journal, what we were discussing yesterday with you, with this article by Richard Barley, who, by the way, is publishing an article every day on the same subject, that has nothing to do with the analysis. It's an invitation to go after Italy financially. He says the Eurozone bailout slowed the Greek meltdown. So he recognized that the Greek meltdown did not take place as, I don't know, the Wall Street Journal, people behind the Wall Street Journal were hoping and planning. But, he says, it may simply have moved the pain elsewhere and unwittingly painted a bull's eye on a much bigger target, Italy. On one level, that seems unjustified. Italy has weathered the crisis well, and this creditworthiness is much better than Spain, Portugal, and so on. But, he says, the problem is that there is this God, the market, and the market will go after Italy. Meanwhile, he said, distorted market and the lack of details on the Eurozone bailout mechanisms are conspiring against it, against countries like Italy. The investors worried about making bets against the intervening European Central Bank, which has focused on buying Greek, Irish, and Greece bonds, the obvious bet is against Italy. And so this is provoking now, for what I can understand, some reactions in Italy. Italy has passed this, in my opinion, stupid measures of austerity in order
to... Maybe if you tell us now, this is the 30 billion euro austerity package that was put through last week by Berlusconi and Tremonti, the finance.
Yeah, it was about 10 days ago. And, Italy already has a situation of, especially youth unemployment, quite serious. But, they were told by the outside authorities like the European Central Bank and above all outside, the IMF, that is again now the International Monetary Fund, that is now again in the game in Europe, had been totally kicked out, discredited, and nobody wants to hear anymore about the IMF. But lately, starting with the Baltic countries and so on. And Greece, the IMF forced this way back. There is also a strong fifth column in Italy that, thanks to this crisis, is coming out into the open. I think you wrote, a response to an open letter by Franco De Benedetti to Corriere della Sera, the main Italian newspaper. Franco De Benedetti is he and his brother Carlo De Benedetti can be considered like the Soros of Italy. It is the financial power, but also cultural power. They have put their money and their fingernails into the left, into the trade unions. They have bought their own men in the former Communist Party. Carlo Franco De Benedetti has been a senator in the Partito Democratico, the former Communist Party. He came out on May 19 with an open letter to Corriere della Sera saying that there are too many people talking about plots, and he is against populism. The populism that is risk to destroy the logic of the market. By populism, he means the reaction all over Italy, and by the way, from the left and the right, against the idea that Italy should do austerity, and against the idea that there should not be regulation against the speculators. This is in fact, there is a lot of requests, starting with the Minister of Economy Tremonti and the Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi, but also from the left. So there is a split that passed through every party and every faction in Italy. Now, most of the industrialists, by the way, are now with the workers, with the trade unions, at least that the part of trade union that are fighting against this austerity measure, and they want the regulation of the market. Now, what is happening now is seen as a real war. It's not seen just as a financial speculation, Soros, the hedge funds speculating to make money, but as a political attack. And
okay, Umberto, the music tells us our segment is ending. We'll be back in a minute for another 10-minute segment. Please hold that thought.